With Nintendo taking the Legend of Zelda series in an open world direction, something is needed to fill the gap in people's hearts that the classic Zelda formula once held. Under the Island, developed by Slime King Games and published by Top Hat Studios, sets out to do just that, and it accomplishes its goal remarkably well. While flawed in places, the core elements that make classic Legend of Zelda so memorable are here, wrapped in a story of teenage adventure. Right off the bat, Under the Island feels like the developers took the vibes of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker and translated them into a 2D game. It is not quite like the Minish Cap, although visually both are beautiful, instead leaning into a relaxing tropical island vibe. It features a cozy beach town and a laid-back demeanour where the greatest danger is the occasional food thief. Nia is the game's young, red-headed protagonist. She has been forced to spend the summer on the island by her two researcher parents. They are investigating the mysterious ruins that Nia, of course, falls into and discovers the secrets of, alongside a local girl her age named Avocado. The two girls meet a mysterious birdman of ancient origins who tasks them with finding 4 MacGuffins needed to stop the island from sinking. Armed with a hockey stick instead of a legendary sword, Nia must explore the island to save it and relieve the boredom of being away from the excitement of the mainland. It is a decent setup to get Nia on her way, although the opening section might be a tad too long. Unlike Link, Nia is not a silent protagonist. The stop and start dialogue scenes, combined with too much freedom to wander around a town that has nothing to offer at that stage in the game, can make the beginning feel slow. Once the adventure does kick in, the pacing is solid and somewhat within your control. While the game guides Nia towards the story's next destination, the only things holding you back from full exploration are missing items or difficult enemies. By taking the long route around, Nia can explore most of the overworld as soon as she finds the bombs, provided you can accept hitting dead ends and unsolvable puzzle rooms. That freedom is most noticeable after completing the first main dungeon. Nia is encouraged to return to Koala Village, the central hub, to see what has changed and get clues, but it is not required. I actually went off the main route and worked most of the way towards the second dungeon, ending up in an area with enemies I could not easily defeat before I finally fast travelled back to town. I only really returned to upgrade my total health using the 4 Heartstones I had found. Under the Island walks a fine line between giving you the freedom to explore at your own pace, while also leading Nia on her story-driven adventure. A downside to this approach is that at least 40% of the island consists of optional areas. You will almost certainly find these before you are ready to solve them, which can result in a feeling of wasted effort. In these cases, I think it would have been better to seal off the area until the appropriate item is acquired, so it is clear that Nia cannot progress yet. Another complaint involves the day and night system. While having specific NPCs appear only at certain times of the day is fine, the implementation is a little frustrating. The cycle is very short, and at night the music fades out for ambience. This damages the presentation because the OST is quite good, featuring fun, upbeat tracks. More often than not, you only end up hearing about 10 to 20 seconds of a track before it is disrupted. Entering a house or cave, or transitioning to the night, causes the music to change or disappear entirely. Only the later areas and dungeons are large enough for the music to stay consistent, which was disappointing. The combat is also quite simple. While Nia can learn abilities like a dash attack, and bosses are designed like classic Zelda encounters where a specific item is required, most of the common enemies can be defeated by simply mashing the attack button. Most items you find in the game are designed for puzzles rather than fighting, so the enemy variety remains quite basic. The most interesting addition is the little bird used to grab objects from a distance, which encourages you to multitask using both thumbsticks. The dungeons and optional areas are very fun. While there is a large underground ruin, most dungeons are contextualized well. One even subverts expectations to the point that I am not sure I would even call it a traditional dungeon. These new spins on the Zelda formula, combined with stellar presentation and clever puzzles, are where the game shines. It all culminates in a climactic, if slightly easy final dungeon for those who acquired every upgrade. Now, before I conclude, I need to bring up an aspect of Under the Island that definitely was not intentional. I decided to include this in the review just in case it happens to anyone else, as it impacted my enjoyment and initially felt like poor game design until I discovered it was a glitch. On my way to the second dungeon, the game subtly bugged out. Sprites and tile sets messed up, bushes disappeared, and tiles did not transition naturally. Worst of all, the colour of the water changed. This had a major impact on my experience because water uses two colours, light blue for shallow and dark blue for deep water that causes near to drown. For me, that difference vanished. It looked like one solid block of colour that was not even blue. I assumed that this was just swamp water because this area is meant to be a swamp, and that an item that I'd get later on would eventually make the path clear. That item never came. I eventually realised something was wrong when the environment started looking broken, but the game did not fix itself until it crashed. When I rebooted it, everything was fixed, and I saw the world as intended. Unfortunately, this did not happen until the final stages of the game. I played most of Under the Island in a broken state, and that sucks. I've decided to not let this affect my score of the game, but it would not be a true review of my time with Under the Island if I did not mention it. Hopefully it will be patched soon. If you notice the environment looks off in your playthrough, I recommend saving and restarting the game immediately. Under the Island is a great classic Zelda-like. With Nintendo stepping away from that formula of game, this title scratches that specific itch. It is not perfect, but it is a great first showing. It has enough side content to make exploration worth it, even if the level design could be tightened to ensure your time is never wasted. The dungeons are all very clever and super enjoyable with unique themes that fit the island setting. There are a host of mini games that I didn't really talk much about in this video, but they're all pretty solid. The writing is very on point, and the story is okay, engaging enough with enough interesting characters to keep me hooked, but nothing super special. The OST is pretty good, and the presentation is very pretty. If you're looking for a good Zelda-like to play in 2026, this is one I would highly recommend. A special thank you to Top Hat Studios for providing us a copy of this game to review. I hope that it does them well. As always, we want to thank our patrons. The $5 plus tier are appearing on screen right now. If you want to know how you can join them, please check the description down below. Please help us survive this YouTube landscape by liking and commenting down below. Engagement really is the best way to push content up nowadays. And always make sure to subscribe if you haven't already so that you always remember to return to the source.